Stephen A. Smith says he's not MAGA.
You lost. Plain and simple.
Stephen A. Smith says he's not a Democrat.
And then I saw folks on the left basically trying to guilt me into voting for you.
Stephen A. Smith says he's not a Republican.
I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate.
But if you listen close, he's trying to be all those things at once.
The man was impeached twice. He was convicted on 34 felony counts. And the American people still said, he's closer to normal than what we see.
Exactly.
Left. That's what they're saying. He's closer to normal. Why?
He says he's an independent. But then he's on a tour with Bill O'Reilly. And he's shouting out Mark Levine. Then he's mentioning Joy-Ann Reid in the same sentence.
I might have ended up voting for Kamala Harris because I didn't like how Trump acts. But what I didn't do was call him a racist.
This isn't independence. This is branding for 2028. Fam, let's break this all the way down. They call me a MAGA mouthpiece. My response.
I want to get to an article written about me recently by a gentleman from MSNBC. His name is Jahan Jones, and he essentially called me a mouthpiece for the far-right MAGA movement. He cites the appearances of Candace Owens, Sean Hannity, and other prominent voices from the right on this podcast as reasons for his premise. Here's a portion of what he wrote on MSNBC.com in an article titled, ESPN Stephen A. Smith is a megaphone for MAGA propaganda. Jones says, quote, Stephen A. Smith's embrace of the MAGA movement and its influencers has only continued. In recent days, for example, he has spoken with right-wing commentators Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, and Bill O'Reilly. You might be thinking that these were adversarial chats between a left-leaning centrist and a conservative. But to adroit listeners, they can come across more as conservatives in friendly discussion than anything else. Smith's overt politicism seems to fly in the face of ESPN's apparent effort in recent years to deter some of its talent from speaking on controversial political matters. Either way, the network's most recognizable host is now regularly platforming MAGA propaganda at will, end quote. Now, my team reached out to Jones to have a discussion about the article. I wanted to invite him on the show to talk with me one-on-one personally. I hope we get the opportunity to have that dialogue. He was busy. He didn't avoid the call or anything like that. There was no comment or anything like that. He didn't say anything. He was just very, very busy. We called it the last minute. No shade on him. That's why it didn't happen. But in the meantime, let me express to you what I think about what he wrote. I think that's the exact problem with the left. You see, if I don't agree with you, I must be MAGA. It must be the case. I'm platforming MAGA propaganda. Is that so? I don't view it that way. First of all, even though I lean left, particularly with how I vote with presidential elections, I want to emphasize that I've always been a centrist my entire life. I've never once described myself as a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a centrist. I'm a moderate. I don't trust either side. I'm not on one side or the other, hook, line, or sinker.
Now, if that was true, now this is why I got an issue with it, right? And it's not an issue, it's just an opinion. Okay. Here's my opinion on this, Stephen A. Smith. If you say I don't trust either side, why would you keep voting Democrat? I'm just saying, like, it sounds to me, this is why you're seeing like a flip-flopper. Okay, because you say, "Hey, man, I'm in the middle, man. On this, I don't trust either one of these parties. Both parties suck, Johnson. Pick up one of my shirts, Stephen. You should wear it proudly on your show, brother. Doing this thing. Both parties suck, Johnson. That's on my website. Go to TimberlakeTV.com to find my website, or go to TimberlakePause.com to get one. Since 2016, 2015. So." If you say both parties suck Johnson, why you keep voting for one party? If both of them are horrible. If both of them, neither one of them can be trusted, why are you trusting them? See, that's how it seems. And then you bring on then you talk to these people like Ben Shapiro or Sean Hannity, all these other people. Like, that's what they're saying. And then some of your talking points tell them something else, that you're very critical of the Democrats and maybe agree with the Republicans in some instances. And I don't know what News Nation is. And Bill O'Reilly, you go on this tour with Bill O'Reilly and Cuomo. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like you're all over the place. But then you say you're independent. Yeah, the same way that Roland is an independent. Meanwhile, here's a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. Roland says the same thing. You lying? That's a lie. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. I'm an independent and I fight for black people. My name is Roland Martin and I'm an independent. I'm independent. Damn. Give my iPad. Shit, give my iPad. Damn. Make sure it's no answers on it, but give my iPad. He says the same thing, but his actions tell you something different. His coverage tells you something totally different. So that's what a disconnection is. Maybe you should actually be more independent. But you did have, but see, Stephen A. had on Dr. Cornel West, which is not something a lot of people did who consider themselves, who say they're independent. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get it, man. I'm just saying, I understand where this person could run with it. But you also know when people write articles, they're trying to get the clicks and they're trying to get the views. And that's why they're talking about you. If you weren't Stephen A. Smith, if you weren't somebody that was newsworthy to them, that was going to be beneficial to the MSNBC website, he never would have got the article published there. So I think there's a bit of that in it as well. Take it as you want it. Let's keep going.
You will see images or you'll hear me rattle off names of people who've been on this show. Yes, you see Ben Shapiro there. Yes, you see Bill O'Reilly there. Yes, I was recently on Megyn Kelly's show. Did you know I'm on News Nation with Chris Cuomo every week?
What that mean? Chris Cuomo's like kind of like you, right? Yeah, Chris Cuomo's like, I don't know what Chris Cuomo is. I don't know. I think he's in the pocket with the Democratic Party. I think he's always been that way. He occasionally gets a little hard on the Democrats, but then as soon as he does that, just like you, then he'll start and say something mean about Republicans, like to kind of even it out. I think it's a lot of flip-flopping going on, you know? I don't know. But once again, Johnson, Stephen A., I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater. And I know that. That's real about me. So I'm biased. So are you.
Did you know that I just appeared with Jake Tapper on CNN? Do you know I've been on MSNBC on several occasions?
Like, what is that supposed to mean, though? Like, you could be a soulless shield for whatever and go on any of those platforms you just named. Like, that does not mean you're a straight shooter. Just because you name your media Straight Shooter Media. You're a straight shooter if you shoot straight. So, like, yo, I want to go much further. This is a long video. And I will say this, for this video to be as long as it is, it does seem like you protest too much. Like, damn, that video is like 25 minutes just on that one topic of this guy's article. Or do you enjoy this? Like, like, what is it that this guy said? He must have hit some nerves up in there. There must be some nerves connected to wherever he hit you at, because, wow, you have a lot of rebuttal. I will let you have the last word out of respect.
Do you know, yes, Sean Hannity is my friend. It's not because of his politics. It's because I've known the man for 23 years, and I know him outside of politics. And I appreciate the relationship that we have. I'm not apologizing for that. Let me add another name so you can further excoriate me. Mark Levin, the great one. That's what they call him on Conservative Talk Radio. I know him well, too. I've also had Clay Travis on this show before. I know him as well, at least a little bit, not as well as the other two. Okay? People that have been on this.
Can we get to some other part, man?
I respect Joy Reid. Did I agree with everything she said? No. Do I agree with how she did some things? No. Because if you come across as too vitriolic as a black person, I know in corporate America, that's going to be counted against you more than it's going to be counted for you.
See, this is what I don't like. Now, this is my bone to pick because she came across too vitriolic. Like you trying to save her. That's what it is. Nah, man, a lot of time my points of view, just basic sheep herding for the Democratic Party. Not journalism at all. And she was pretty slanderous and tough on Black Americans, and then said that she was fighting for Black Americans, which is very weird to me. You know, and particularly Black independent media. She's like, she fell into that group of people that love to talk smack about what we do. Now it's going to be somebody doing what we do. Sort of like you. But you never did, so I'm not going to throw you in that group. But, you know, she had negative things to say about Black independent media. And now she is Black independent media. Due to the contract restraints, which means she can't go. She probably had a non-compete clause, just like Don Lemon did. So that's another thing I don't like. And like, we ain't got to be nice to people about our stances. We say what it is. Earlier, I wasn't being nice. I was in this broadcast naming names and saying what I really felt. And being truthful, not being vindictive and being a hard ass, but actually saying how I really felt. With a little bit of humor mixed in. But I was being real. And when y'all start caping for one another, like, look, either you thought Joy, because Joy Reid is she's a very polarizing person. Either you thought she was full of it or you thought she was a soldier in a battle. To me, that would be the only way that you could define Joy Reid, because she was very much not a person in the middle peddling it soft or trying to maintain any type of equilibrium. That's not what a show was. That's not what a brand was. None of that. So you can't come with some soft deduction about her, saying, oh, you know what, she just could have did it a different way. No. She did it the way she wanted to do it, and she did it for several years, if not a decade, I believe. She had a lot of time to clean up, get the bugs out, to smooth the edges and all that stuff. That was her show, and she did it the way she wanted to do it. And up until this election, when Trump won the White House, in spite of her almost daily bombastic coverage, she was good. She was golden. So I got a problem with you like painting it any other way, because I don't think you're being honest, sir. That's all. That's just my opinion. Because Joy Reid is either you like the compound chicken or you don't. You know, either you want the ghost peppers or you don't. Like, it's not like, oh, well, I could do a little ghost pepper. Nah, Joy Reid was a ghost pepper. And you know what? All differences aside, I think she would respect my articulation of what she is and what she stood for more than yours. And said she was just haphazard. Nah, I don't think that's what it was at all. She was a ghost pepper. Yeah. All right. I guess since I went hard, let him finish.
I get that part, but I also knew the dramatic drop in the ratings that they said took place since the election ended. I saw Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, who I respect. But they bought in to calling Trump and alluding to certain things when it came to Trump. Now, I don't remember whether it's specifically Nazis or other things, but certainly their rhetoric towards him was incendiary. And what happened after he won the election? They were at Mar-a-Lago. And everybody's joking about how Trump is making folks come kiss the ring. You know why? Because guess what? He won. Despite being impeached twice. Despite 34 felony convictions. Despite the potpourri of cases that were thrown against him, he still won. And so what I'm saying to you is that when we're having that kind of discussion, that's what we got to take into consideration. These kind of things happen. And then you're looking at me and you're saying he's platforming them. No. He rattle off names of people who were on the show.
Well, you know what, guys? What I will agree with him is He'd be able to platform whoever the hell he wants to platform. You know what I'm saying? That I don't agree with that. Anybody you want to platform. Why would anybody have a problem with who you put on your platform? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. Like, build your own platform, bring on who you want to bring on, and that person brings on who they want to bring on. So write an article that you are platforming people that already have a platform. Hey, believe it or not, guys, Megyn Kelly and Ben Shapiro and whoever else he brought on, they already get their message out. I never bought into that. Like, it's not like Stephen A. Smith is like turning over the independent media world looking for diamonds in the rough and breaking stars. It's not like he's finding people that no one knew of, and he's like bringing them to the forefront. Same thing with Shannon Sharpe and any of the rest of them. That's not what we do. He's not being like a Joe Rogan character where he's finding all these these people that are talented or whatever and like giving them a play. He ain't doing that. He's bringing on known entities that are already in the mix, and that's what he's doing. And it's probably helping himself more than it's helping them. Megyn Kelly could do $500,000 on a video just talking. They like her over there. So it's really him. I look at it the other way. Like, he's bringing people on his platform to grow his platform. That's what I believe. His political platform. Not his sports platform, because he blew them all away in the sports world. But I'm talking about his political platform. But let's keep it moving, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.